I had this idea a few years ago that I would paint war veterans sort of later in their life. And I did the First World War veterans and did Harry Patch and all the last survivors. And then just before COVID, I thought, well, I need to do something with the Gloucestershire Regiment. And had a bit of a think. And then I remembered that when I was a teenager learning to drive, my driving instructor was Sergeant Henry Pegler, who I used to meet in the Prince Albert pub up in Rodborough. And he used to sit in the corner, quite a fierce guy. And when I was 17, I got my provisional license and I needed somebody to teach me to drive. So after a bit of Dutch courage, I plucked up courage to go and speak to him sat in the corner. Because everyone had said to me he'd been at the Battle of the Imjin River and he'd been a prisoner of war and he's not the easiest guy to talk to. And so I plucked up courage, and so he taught me to drive. But I think I probably learned more about the Korean War and the Battle of the Imjin River than I did. Have I passed my driving test? I don't know. But he got me through my test. So the Imjin River, the Battle of the Imjin River, has been in my mind ever since I was a teenager. And being a Gloucestershire boy, Gloucester Regiment is my regiment. So recently I had this idea that I would like to paint the last survivors of the Gloucestershire Regiment that were at the Battle of the Imjin River. And I'd seen one or two on television. And so I contacted the museum, and then I bumped into a gentleman, Brigadier Vine, in Saint-Tropez, where I was painting a cricket match. So it's sort of gone from Rodborough to Saint-Tropez to Korea, back to Gloucester. So it's been quite a journey. And we managed to find 10 surviving Gloucestershire Regiment veterans or soldiers that were attached. And so I set out the project of trying to paint these guys, and I've been doing it over the last year or so. Sadly, we lost one before we started, and we'd lost Leslie recently. But we've got 8, and hopefully on Sunday at Gloucester, the Soldiers of Gloucestershire Museum in Gloucester Quays, around midday, 12:30, all the veterans will be together for the last time. And the exhibition here at the museum will run for the whole of the winter as well. So it's been an amazing journey for me. It's none of the pictures are for sale. It's just been, I've just done it off my own back and just out of love for these guys in the regiment. But the experience of painting them has been beyond words, really. It's been priceless because a lot of these guys didn't say a great deal for a long period of time. Most of these guys were prisoners of war. After the Battle of Imjin, the Gloucester Regiment, a lot of them got captured. And they were prisoners of war for 2 years with the Chinese, and that was pretty tough. But these guys have just started to talk about it, and the most amazing thing is that they've sort of, it's like a weight taken off their shoulders. And the families have been sat around watching while I've been painting these guys, and they've gone, we've never heard that before. Or I didn't know that story, I didn't know that story. And a lot of those stories are in the book, The Last Roll Call, which is published by the museum. All the proceeds are going to the museum. So it's been the most unbelievable, amazing journey that started 40 odd years ago at the Prince Albert in Stroud. So here we are in the museum.